Hello everyone, this is teacher Manolo A. Daos, your virtual math teacher for week number 3. This is the continuation of the properties of parallelogram. This is the last activity for quarter 3, week number 3. This is found on page 11 of your modules. So there are 3 questions there. So the first 2 questions can be answered simply by reasoning. So this example is for number 3. Okay, so this is giving your proof using the 2-column proof. So given trapezoid LODI is an isosceles trapezoid with diagonals LD and OI. Prove the measure of angle LOD is congruent to the measure of angle IDO. Okay, so this is the figure. We have here trapezoid LODI, the diagonals LD and OI. Okay, so as I told you, we are going to use the 2-column proof. So the first column is the statements, and the second column are the reasons. Okay, so before that, we're going to simplify first the figure. We're going to draw triangles that correspond to the parts to be proved. Okay, so we have here angle LOD and angle IDO. So if we will cut this part of the figure, okay, this is triangle LOD. Okay, and the second triangle will be here. Okay, okay, so we have now 2 triangles that are containing the parts to be proved. From here, we will now make statements and reasons. So first statement, LODI is an isosceles trapezoid with diagonals LD and OI. As you can observe, this is located on the given. Therefore, our answer is, or the reason is, reason. Okay, number 2. So we have here OD and OD. So side OD is congruent to side DO. So if we will go back to our main figure, this is the upper base. Okay, so OD and DO are just one side. Okay, so we are referring to one side only. Therefore, the reason will be reflexive property or reflexivity. Okay, so we will put a mark. So these are congruent. Side OD is congruent to side DO. Next, by the way, we are going to prove only 3 parts of the triangle, and we all know that we have 6, 3 4 sides and 3 4 angles. So we just need 3 of the parts to declare that these 2 triangles are congruent. So we have already found or solved 1. Next, what other congruent parts can be seen in this figure? Okay, so statement number 3. Okay, so we have here LD and IO. We will go back again to our trapezoid LODI, and we all know that these sides of triangle are the diagonals of our trapezoid. So the reason is diagonals of an isosceles trapezoid are congruent. Okay, so we found already 2. We will just put a tick mark. Okay, so one last. Okay, so here we have LO is congruent to ID. So where is LO? Here. Okay, the side of the triangle, and ID is also a side of the triangle. Again, we will go back to our original trapezoid, and we notice that these two sides are the legs of a trapezoid. So these are the legs of a trapezoid. So from there, we will make our reason definition of an isosceles trapezoid. By the way, what is the definition of an isosceles trapezoid? An isosceles trapezoid is a trapezoid with two congruent legs. Okay, so this is LO is congruent to ID. Okay, so we have already found three congruent parts. So if we found three congruent parts, we will now have the next statement by comparing the two triangles. Okay, so this is triangle LOD is congruent to triangle IDO. Okay, so what are the congruence postulate that is applicable for this? What is the congruence postulate? So we have here side, side, and another side. So three sides. Therefore, that is side, side, side congruence postulate. Okay, so by virtue of SSS congruence postulate, these two triangles are congruent. So we all know now that these two triangles are congruent. So the next and the last will be our problem. Okay, the measure of angle LOD is congruent to the measure of angle IDO. So what will be our reason? Okay, since these are two congruent triangles, it is stated here, corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent, or the CP-CT-C. Okay, so all the remaining parts are congruent if we found three congruent parts using the congruence postulates. Okay, so that's all for this example. So if you have still questions or clarifications, please ask your math teacher. Okay, so that's all for today. Goodbye. Okay. Thanks for watching.